the normal distribution as an approximation to the binomial distribution. The normal distribution may be used as an approximation to the binomial distribution. So let's suppose we have x, which follows a binomial distribution with n trials and probability of success p, where n is the number of trials, p is the probability of success, as I just mentioned. We know that the expectation of x, or the mean, is just n times p, and the variance of x is n times p times 1 minus p, which some people refer to as q. Since the normal distribution, let's say it's y, follows a normal distribution with the parameters being the mean and the variance, we can use these values here. And we can approximate x, which is this distribution here, using a normal with expectation of x and variance of x as the parameters. Since the normal distribution is symmetric, it works best when the binomial is symmetric, i.e. when p is close to 0.5. Good results can still be obtained when p is not close to 0.5, provided n is large. But what exactly is meant by n being large? You will see lots of different conditions in the literature, so it's important that you follow the ones for your course. N is greater than or equal to 30, and NP and N1 minus P being greater than or equal to 5 are common, but make sure, as I said before, you use the conditions prescribed in your course. The diagram shows a normal distribution fitted to a binomial 20, 0.5. For the distribution, x follows a binomial with n trials and probability of success p, we have discussed that we can approximate with y is a normal with parameters np and np1 minus p. To approximate the probability that x is between a and b, inclusive of a and b, we would calculate the probability that y is between, now remember for the normal, it doesn't matter whether this is a greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to in this case, or just a greater than, because the probability with a continuous distribution of any one particular value is 0. But the important thing to take from this is it's a take away 0.5, so in other words this value take away 0.5, and b plus 0.5. In other words, we need to surround this region A to B by going 0.5 either side. This is something called the continuity correction, and we'll see how this works in the examples. Basically, we surround the values from the binomial, as I just mentioned. What follows is some comparisons of actual values from binomial distributions and normal distributions, and we'll see the continuity correction in action here. So let's suppose I've got x is a binomial 30, 0.5, so a perfectly symmetrical one. So we'll take y is a normal 15, 7.5, which is, of course, the mean and the variance for this distribution. And let's suppose we work out the probability that x is between 18 and 28, which I've given to 6 decimal places just here. And I've done that actually using the binomial distribution. And now I work out the probability that y is between 17.5 and 28.5. You can see the continuity correction. I'm surrounding the 18 to 28 by going 0.5 down and 0.5 up. And that gives us this value here. The difference between these two, based on this one as being exact, is 0.079%. However, if we go to 30.4, and of course we need to make the corresponding changes in y, and we work out the same region, we find it's now 4.918%. If we go to 30.3 and make the corresponding changes in y, you'll find that this time it's really not very good at all. It's out by a lot. This comparison, of course, was just looking at the symmetry of our binomial. As it became less symmetric, the results got worse. You could further investigate by changing n. You should find that even when your binomial is not particularly symmetric, you'll get reasonable results when n is large. At least you will for certain ranges of values.